Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind Podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind Podcast. In this week's show, we are going to recap Toro Cup 20. We're going to recap the BJJ Stars 8, and we're going to recap Fight to Win 200 in Honolulu, Hawaii. We are also going to very briefly preview ADCC, the Europe, Asian, and Middle East trials, the final trials. This one has the women's qualifier in it as well as talk a little bit about Fight to Win 201. As always in the show, I'm your host, Maine, joined with my co-host,
Josh.
How you doing, Josh?
Good.
I'm doing good, too. I just finished... Zach and I got back very, very late last night doing commentary for Copa Elite, their inaugural event in Virginia. We've been doing commentary for Copa Virginia for a couple of years now, and they put on their first professional event. It was a ton of fun. I am very tired. If the show comes across with me being a little tired, that's the reason. Josh, you're also getting off like a 15-hour shift as well.
Yeah, I got up, although I got to stay in bed longer today. But since I've been up, working at my house, then went to work and worked, and now I'm here.
So we're here. So again, this is full disclosure. If there's a couple little errors here and there, that's what kind of weekend that Josh and I have had. It's also 11 o'clock starting recording time on Sunday. So as far as news goes, I don't think there's a ton of news this week other than kind of everyone's ramping up for coverage for ADCC trials.
We're seeing more training from everybody and people going to the trials and have won the trials. And here's another highlight from the trials. And
yeah.
Like, it's getting towards that time. People have been itching for this event. Like, you can't...
Yeah.
You know, the pandemic
4 months away.
Kind of, you know...
We're getting close to ADCC. We're booking our flights and hotels, and all that's coming to a head. Very excited talking about the ADCC Open. We talked about that on last week's show, as well as the Legend Seminar. I'm not sure if that's how sold out that is yet. I don't think it's sold out yet. I haven't seen the announcement this week that it is sold out. I think some more announcements are coming down the pipe as far as entrants or invitees for ADCC, the World Championships in 2022. I don't think anything dropped this week.
Are the brackets almost full?
Yeah. I mean, we have, I think, like one or two names in most divisions left. I think a couple of the women's divisions have I think one has like three, but the second trials here for the European, Asia, and Africa will determine that qualifier. So, and there's some good front runners there. That'll all shake out on next week's show. So that's sort of the big news is everyone's kind of jockeying for and wondering who. So basically look out this week for additional information about who everyone is forecasting to win trials, and then be ready to be surprised by a guy like, oh, they won trials, because that's why trials is so great, because it gives people an opportunity to make a name for themselves and get into the World Championships who might have not had the credentials to get an invite early. So that's all I got for news, Josh. Commentary was great. It should be up on Copa Virginia or Copa Elite YouTube page in the next couple of days. I'll try to post it. It's Zach and I just commentating some really, really fun matches and a 9-man $3,000 cash prize tournament, which was, a ton of fun. And so, again, we recapped it. We commentated the whole thing, so I don't want to recap it here, but it was great. Looking forward to upcoming events. I'm just very tired as a result of a very big day yesterday doing that. Josh, what do you want to recap first?
Pick whatever. I'm fine with whatever.
Let's move into the recap of BJJ Stars. BJJ Stars put on a $21,000. It's 100 reals. 100,000 reals was the purse, which is a pretty decent sized cash prize. 21,000 is, again, a couple of years ago when we started the show, that was absolutely unheard of. But it's nice.
BJJ did that.
Yeah, they did it, but it was a couple of years ago.
Well, that's true, but I'm saying they had contracts and would pay people a lot of money.
Yeah, but it was never disclosed all the money though.
Well, yeah, exactly. But who cares? What about what was the other one that paid people?
ADCC.
No. There's something. Ooh, Spider.
Spider
paid out big.
Yeah, Spider paid out big, dude. Josh, get it in front of your face.
It's right here.
There we go. Now the waveform's coming through. Spider paid out big, too. That was another $100,000 purse, 2 divisions for that. But BJJ Stars paying out big. 8-man Grand Prix. Josh, you want to talk about the superfights first or talk about the GP here?
Let's get the superfights out of the way.
Superfights out of the way. We had Damian Maia taking on Alex Oliveira, Cowboy Oliveira. In a match that everyone in the kind of Grappling Rewind went, this is either... I predicted Maia by rear naked choke. But we knew he was going to sub Cowboy Oliveira because Cowboy Oliveira is a blue belt, right? Or a purple belt?
A black belt.
Cowboy?
Yeah.
No, Donald Cerrone Cowboy is.
No, he's a black belt.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why someone told me he was a blue belt.
I'm pretty sure he's a black belt.
Okay. I thought that was the joke, but whatever. We got a chance to see Damian Maia's wrestling here, which was kind of neat. We've seen it a lot in the UFC. That dude can take a shot from super far out, and we saw that in one of the exchanges in the heel hook exchange. He goes outside, outside heel hook on Alex Oliveira's leg. Alex Oliveira kind of like does a big step over and goes to running, kind of like a lazy running man out. And Damian Maia goes, "Oh, you're on your hands and knees? I'm going to shoot really hard," and like drives up and like essentially takes him down into mount from that scramble.
Damian Maia's sick. I don't understand. Just because you've seen him fight for however long you've been doing jiu-jitsu does not mean that his one is wrestling, which he's probably been focused on a lot because of MMA, and two, like you can go back into like the early 2000s and watch Damian Maia tapes, and you're like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he such a wizard?
Yeah.
And the dude's just phenomenal all around. So the fact like you get to see him not get punched in the face, and then just like do jiu-jitsu and wrestle, that was wonderful. I enjoyed it.
Seeing him here again, I want to see Maia as he kind of age. He's 40, I think, or something like that.
I think he's like past that. He's either 40 or like he's early 40s, but still like he's an older dude.
Watch him be like 38 or something.
No, he's definitely in his 40s.
But regardless, it's cool to see him again. I always liked his style, so it's cool to see him back in grappling. The finish was really kind of funny here. It was just not Charles Oliveira. It was Cowboy. Then I think of Donald Cerrone there when I say that. It was Alex Oliveira trying to basically pass Damian Maia's guard, and he pushed down on the outside leg to try to just force the knee down, and Damian Maia went,
"Cool, I'm going to do old jiu-jitsu on you."
And just pushes his hand through.
He was just like, "I'll grab your wrist and force it through."
It wasn't even a force. He just kind of like bucks and just pushes through and then triangles. And then I went, I don't see how Cowboy gets out of this. And then Damian Maia kind of locked it up, pulled down, and that was it. But it was just such a funny little sequence.
It was feel good.
Yeah, because the camera was on it. You just went, that's all he needed to do. It was just like Oliveira was trying to pass. Damian Maia goes, "Whoop, I'm a wizard," and then just triangles him. So that guy again kind of ended up how he thought it was going to end up. But it is cool to see Damian Maia. We do infrequently see him grapple and not get punched. So there is that.
44, by the way.
No, bullshit.
44.
No.
44?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was off by like 3 years in my house. Like he's got like 40, 41, I think. He just got cut by the UFC. I forgot about that.
Oh, they actually cut him?
I think they actually cut him.
I thought he fought out of his contract, though, and they just didn't renew it.
Maybe that's what. I don't know. But I know that I know, with quotes there, that he's no longer in the UFC at this point.
So you text Dana, and you're like, Damian out, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, bro," and you're like, "Oh, okay."
That's the number I don't need in my phone. So next match, let's talk about it. Felipe Pena versus Henrique Sassoni.
Let's not talk about it.
Sassoni was tentative. We kind of picked a weird order to go through this, but shout out to Grappling Insider for the rules, for the event listings that we're reading off of, because I like how they have everything formatted.
Yeah, that was a match. That's all I'll say.
It was a
about
match.
That.
A lot of disengagement from Sassoni. He has a kind of a nice passing attempt late that he isn't really able to do anything with.
Man, it doesn't matter.
And the match happened. It was cool to see Felipe back.
Yeah, it's great that he's back, but like he left gi competition.
He left. I mean, kind of left no gi competition too. His last match was against Galvao, ADCC Superfight 2019. That was like 3 years ago. So he retired from the gi at
That's kind of
Worlds.
a bad match to go out on, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we finally see Pena back in the guard on the no-gi.
On the no-gi.
I know, Josh. This is one of these. It's gonna be one. It's one of these shows.
It's one of the old shows.
One of the old shows where Josh and I are just like, it's 11:30 at night. We're tired trying to put together jiu-jitsu commentary. Pena looked good. Not a whole lot happened. It was a penalty match, and Sassoni loses that. Essentially, Pena ends up winning it based on just penalties. ADCC rules.
Let's talk about this match.
Hell yeah, Josh. Gutenberg Pereira.
He beat Felipe Andrew via guillotine in like -7 seconds. It was really like 34, but still, it was fast as hell.
The entire match video was like 3:26 long. And
yeah,
I looked
like,
at that because I was doing commentary, so I watched these all after the fact, and I went, yo, what the fuck happened? Because again, both these, like, and I saw that match, and I went, Felipe Andrew is a flash sub guy. Like, I was like, what the fuck is Andrew? And I watched the match, and immediately it's, Gutenberg Pereira is very fucking tall. And just he snaps Felipe Andrew down into, like, a guillotine. Andrew stands up out of it, and Pereira, you see him, like, drive down, and I went, does he have that in? And I looked at Felipe Andrew's face, because the camera, he turned the angle, and you could see his face, and I was like, oh, that's a really deep guillotine choke. And if you know me, you know I'm a connoisseur of the guillotine. And I looked at that, and then he drops him all the way down and stands back up with the guillotine, throws the elbow over, and continues to crank down.
Murderized him, and he tapped with authority. He was like, let me the fuck go. Oh my God, that match was just... That was the bee's knees.
But we talked about this in the pre-show. Gutenberg, the dude that we saw compete against Tim Spriggs at Fight to Win a couple of years ago, again, it was a gi match, is that Gutenberg.
That's not the same
That
dude.
Gutenberg Pereira is not the same guy. And at BJJ Stars, we saw him have a great performance. He beat Margali.
Yeah.
And had a really close match with Felipe Pena in the gi at the last BJJ Stars. Like, this Gutenberg Pereira, the guy that won South American trials in the plus 99 kilogram division, like, this dude... I cannot wait to see him in ADCC this year. Yeah.
Dude,
he looked phenomenal.
It was so funny. Like, the entire match, he was like, okay, go. And they locked up hands like Mercy style, and then they shook it out, and he was like, I'm going to grab your head. Felipe Andrews was like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, no, I'm going to grab your head, and just snapped it right into that guillotine and chased him. And I was like, what are you doing?
Because usually when guys like chase...
It's not on.
It's not on, or like they can get out.
No, he had that while he was running.
Yes.
It was Felipe Andrew running away backwards. That's what it was. It wasn't Gutenberg running into him. It was
because Gutenberg was trying to drive his
away.
hips up and lift kind of into the choke,
God.
and Felipe Andrew was trying to back out because he's super game.
He was just like, let me get out of this. He was trying to fight it, and then was like, oh God.
It's really rare at the high levels to see a choke like that finished.
Dude, that was so sick.
It's cool. Probably one of the, not the highlight of the event, but one of the highlights of the event.
Dude, I watched that like 6 times.
I watched it 4 times at least. I was like, look at that.
Do it again.
I love guillotine finishes though. And again, watching Gutenberg Pereira recently kind of like, I don't want to say come into his own because that's...
Dude, he's just looking good.
Dude, anybody can like consistently looking good whenever seen. Even the Cyborg match at Pans, like he looked really good in that match. Like he's just looking good against top level guys consistently every time. It's awesome. Next match, Fabricio Andre defeats Alex Sodre via decision.
This is another good match.
Yeah, this is fun. This is like, again, smaller guys on the card. Fabricio Andre, it was really, really good bottom work, really good top work from both guys. Sodre is a guy that's super dangerous, but Fabricio Andre has just been kind of on another level recently.
He's just been going up. He's doing all of this training.
There's one piece of this match that I really want to talk about. It's the transition that Fabricio Andre makes to Sodre's back here. And in one clean sequence, he gets around, throws over, then Sodre tries to turn and kind of go turtle. Fabricio Andre follows him over, jumps onto his back with the leg over the shoulder like he's going to go reverse triangle, lands on his butt. Sodre is essentially in his lap, and Fabricio Andre goes, oh, I can't make the angle for like what I need for the choke. I'm going to shuttle off to the side, go for the arm, goes for the... I was like, that is such a deep, tight transition. But the way that... The neat thing for me here was... It's matches like these that are really hard to talk about technically of like what he did. It's like he just followed his hips like the entire time. And it's like there's not a technique I can tell you to do. It's like you just have to have a feel and a balance for following a moving opponent.
You have to know the chase and feel where you are.
Yeah.
And that chase is going to be different for like every single person that you roll with.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like a good general understanding of that following of the hip, you can start to do it to just whoever.
Yeah.
So it's just getting that feel of like riding the weight of the hip to be able to carry yourself into still a better position. That's what all the high level guys do.
So in a kind of a non sequitur here, Galvao in the fake black belt Galvao match, you see him kind of like follow the hips in that match. And I was like, as a white belt watching that match, I was like, oh cool, that's a neat like surfing technique. He just continues to stay on the guy's back. A couple months ago, we saw Mica Galvao at trials, and we saw him consistently kind of doing this same thing. And I was like, man, I really need to make a better effort to turn up the intensity in training and be doing that and chasing guys back like this. And it's just cool to repeatedly see something that like I'm trying to implement more in my training at the lower levels, because I'm a small man, implemented by guys like Fabricio Andre, and like, oh yeah, that's the thing that the upper echelon guys at the smaller weight classes do really, really effectively.
You can do this no matter what. It just depends on what level. Like, you can do this with a lot of time in.
Yeah.
Like, get a feel like, I can do this, not this beautifully. Like, I'm not comparing myself to Fabricio Andre at all. But, like, I figure out, like, oh, and you just ride it because it's just all this time in. What happens with these guys, and, well, they've been in it forever to begin with, but it's like they're training at this high intensity so much, and it's the same thing with like these blue belts that are coming up nowadays that are killing everybody. It's like lots of time in, lots of hard rounds, lots of specific training to get that feel faster and then get really, really good at it.
Yeah, at least again, Soja gives him a tiny opening, and he's able to capitalize almost to a finish on the back in like a 2-second transition, where Soja does all of the right things after the initial kind of overextension of the arm, and then Andre can get all the way to the back, almost throw in the reverse triangle, go to the arm, get off again eventually. I think that's probably what wins him the decision. He'd been kind of imposing a positional game and like when he was on the bottom, his guard looked really good. When he was on the top, he looked really good there.
I like that his focus right now is on Nogi. Like,
yeah,
I remember seeing him in Spider when he was either like purple or brown, whatever it was that he was in
years
there.
ago.
Yeah. And then like just following him and then being like, oh, he's a black belt now, and then making an instant splash in the black belt scene. Like, yeah, he's taking some losses, but he's now like where he is right now is just at the top.
Super
level.
excited to see how he kind of shakes out in 66 at ADCC.
I'm wondering if he's still going to do Worlds.
Yeah, when is that this year?
June, I think?
Yeah, I think it's back to June, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay. Because a lot of guys I've been interviewing recently have been talking about, like, Worlds, and usually they don't start talking about it till about 4 months out, in my experience. Or, like, you start to hear about it 3 to 4 months out when I start to interview guys a lot more. It starts to come up as a thing, because Pan's just finished.
June 1st through the 5th in Long Beach.
Okay. So back in California, too.
Yep.
Interesting. Not in Florida this year. So that was that match. Great. Again, go back and watch that match. It's cool. We're seeing a lot from both these guys. And it was a really, really close match where, again, it kind of showcases the lower weights at the Nogi, kind of the talent coming out of Brazil. Next match, we had Bia Mesquita defeating Julia Boscher via submission and armbar. Bia hits a phenomenal takedown here from the beginning.
Yes.
Like early. She traps the arm, and then was it an inside trip or an outside trip, Josh?
I think it was an outside trip.
Okay.
I think.
But it was a neat like sequence. Bia gets kind of up underneath her with her underhook, and then just like rotates the leg in, drops down, and then immediately from the takedown goes for the armbar.
Yeah.
And I went.
Bia don't mess around. Like, I don't understand why. Like,
damn.
And then if Bia is against you, I don't pick you.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I assume that Bia is going to win.
Yeah.
And that's that. Who was the last person that beat her? Like, off the top of your head that you can remember. Was it Fionn? Did Fionn sneak one out on her?
No, it was a toe hold, I think, at the finals. No, I don't think so. Maybe Tamara beat her, I think. Regardless, uncommon. Great submission, finishes the armbar. There's really not a whole lot to the match. Again, with ADCC coming up, I like that we're seeing like a dynamic takedown. Reminded me kind of JT Torres style takedown.
Yes.
That just like arm drag kind of to immediately, again, she hit it on the outside versus JT tends to come on the inside and kind of drag you down into the guard. But regardless, that's all she needed to get it done. Again, these were all contested in our ADCC rules, which is I think why we saw a little bit more wrestling, and like I like the way that ADCC forces people to settle and control positions. It tends to kind of have a larger level of activity. But that was that match. Other matches on the card too, but I really want to get to
Let's get to the GP.
The GP, middleweight GP. Again, similar sized guys. There was no one who was really, really small. I think Michael Mica Galvao was on the kind of
He looked the
smaller
smallest,
side
but that doesn't
of
mean
this.
anything.
First match, we had Lucas Barbosa defeating Roberto Jimenez via points, 2-0. This is a rematch.
I don't remember the last time I saw Roberto in the gi. It's been a while.
It's been a little bit. Again, we saw them on Fight to Win against each other before, and this was the one that Hulk hit that armbar on off the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool to see Roberto be able to make the adjustments, make the changes to slow Hulk down a little bit and to not be submitted. I like seeing guys, again, he was a very, very new black belt when they met there. I like seeing guys make adjustments and changes to their game in rematches, some fighting veterans like Hulk. Again, Roberto does not take this one. Hulk moves on, but it's cool to see it. It was a very, very close match.
I think this was the match, their match was right after when he beat Keenan.
I
think it was
there was a little bit of a gap. Yeah. It was that was like the next gi match
close.
he had It was a fight to win on Keenan, or who's
No,
number one
who's
on
number
Keenan,
one Keenan,
and then it was the Hulk match right after, and it was like, ooh. Next match we had Mica Galvao defeating Leandro Lo. This was a weird, for me. We got the brackets I think on Friday or Thursday, and we all kind of went, "Oh, that's a weird first round matchup." It's a matchup I wanted to see.
Oh no, that to me, I was like, that's what I want. I want to see that match, whether it's the finals or it's the first round. I don't care. I want that.
But
match.
it was weird. You bracket your number 1 and your number 2 or 3, or your number 1 or number 2 or 3 seed together in the first round.
There's only 8 dudes.
The
2 guys on the other sides of the brackets, Barbosa and Lo, those are your top 2 seeds right there.
Yeah, I just figured you'd put you put Michael and Roberto in the corners here. Regardless, moving on from that, I thought it was it was a first round matchup that kind of shocked me, and then to have Galvao take it,
dude,
versus Lo again, one advantage point with any Leandro match.
It was a close match, throughout the whole thing. But the fact that again, this kid's 18, 19 years old.
I think I thought he was 19. One of the articles said he's 18, which I think he's probably 18 then.
18, 19. It's just again, instant impact on
beat
in the black
Leandro Lo in the gi. That's wild. To have a new, again, he is the next generation of dudes coming through.
He's terrifying.
Super, super close.
Is he doing Worlds?
Probably.
I hope so.
That's terrifying. Takes it 1 advantage point. What was the advantage for? Was it a near
sweep? I think.
And again, earned.
Yeah, he earned it.
Yeah, which I was wild.
He was doing some shit.
Might have swept Lo, and then
Lo was trying to crush through at the end, and he was just nah, I'm good. I'm not going to let you pass.
Yeah, really nice. Again, it was nice to see the guard work of Galvao here on the bottom. Again, it's a smaller guy, Leandro Lo. I think he's dropped 1 more weight class. He's not as big as he used to be, but he's still definitely bigger than Galvao here.
Middleweight.
Is he middleweight?
This is the
still
middleweight gi Grand Prix, is it not?
It is. Correct, Josh. Regardless.
I don't know what their definition of middleweight is, but
kind of 185-ish. Next match, Leandro Lara defeats Wallace and Oliveira by points, 5-2. Back and forth match. Kind of one of actually the more high-scoring matches of the event, actually. Both these gentlemen are eliminated in the next round. Mauricio Oliveira also defeats Pedro Machado via decision. Slower match as well. Good guard work on both sides, but again, it goes to decision after the full time. Neither guy's really able to impose a game, and there's a lot of work from the guard and some work on the feet. Semifinals, we have Lucas Barbosa defeating Leandro Lara. Oh, which match was
Leonardo?
Was it? What was the match with the weird? It was this match. It was Leandro Lara versus Wallace and Oliveira, I think, where there was a weird injury stoppage, and there's a tap due to a leg takedown. Yeah, it was this match. And then
I don't remember. There was just fuckery afoot.
There was a little bit of fuckery afoot. And then he taps, and then they look at his leg, and then the match goes again. And I went, that was weird.
I just was like, you know what? Whatever
you guys are gonna. That was. I remember watching that, and I texted the chat. I was like, what happened there? And we all went, it was weird. And we went, okay, and just kind of moved on. But I wanted to call attention to it. Again, I kind of like both sides of that, where it's a guy has something weird happen. Is there injury? Is there not? Due to no one's kind of fault. You check it. If you want to keep going, I understand it. It is always weird when there's like injury stoppage in grappling because that's kind of the point sometimes. So it's a little weird. But moving on to the semifinal match, we have Lucas Hulk Barbosa defeating Leandro Lara via
Leonardo.
What'd I say?
I keep saying Leandro. It's Leonardo.
Yeah, I keep looking at the name below too. Leandro Lara.
Leonardo Lara.
Is it Leonardo?
Lara.
Oh, it is.
It's Leo. Just Leo Lara.
Leo Lara via an armbar.
That was violent.
This was okay. So it's funny.
That.
This was like the armbar that he hit on Roberto Jimenez at their fight to win match. From the back, he scoots over and scoots it back, and then instead of what he did with Jimenez and finishes it back to the mat, he finishes like the variation Americana version of it.
Yeah, off and like twisting into it.
Yeah, I love this armbar because this is how I do all my armbars when I can, because you put a bunch of pressure into the shoulder before you need full extension on the arm.
Yeah, last time I rolled with you, your tiny ass tried doing this to me. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? That's right. God.
Yeah, I love it because it's like it functions. It's like the only
serves me no
legit
purpose
way.
to be nice to you when I roll. Like,
I mean,
you take full advantage of that.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you're like,
bit,
here,
Josh.
I'm tiny.
A little bit, Josh. Hey, Josh, I'm small. You can be a small guy.
I'm like, man, you little broken spine.
So it was a really neat
That was nice.
armbar, and the camera angle, you could see that like the arm was slightly bent up, and you could tell that it was it's a shoulder lock here that's happening.
But he's like extending too. It's all in there. It was
really neat finish that you see pretty frequently nowadays, but you don't see it as frequently as like a regular armbar.
I just love seeing cool ass submissions in the gi.
Yeah, it was
because again. Like, I understand why people are like, no gi is boring. I get it.
No gi is boring.
Or not no gi. Gi is boring. It's like, I get that. But when cool shit like this happens, I'm like...
Yeah, and the finals is also a dope gi thing, too.
Yes, but that was after a fucking weird match. You want to just go to the finals now?
No, we had Mica Galvao defeating Mauricio Oliveira. This is actually good. I think, for some reason, I think these guys have faced each other before. And
they have. Galvao... Lost. Yeah, that's right. He lost.
Points won.
And then he was losing this match. And then Oliveira's standing up. And Galvao attacks his left leg.
Well, he's trying to basically play an kind of a variation of like a X guard,
like lasso or something, or De La Hiva. But you see Mauricio like push in with his. Was his right leg? Oh, no, he was attacking the right leg. So he's pushing him with his left leg, and then all of a sudden he's like, ow, stop. We're like, what? And then he just like sits down. This dude comes onto the mat. I don't know if he's a doctor or not. And
hey, my leg exploded.
He starts like fucking wiggling his leg. I'm no doctor. I'm no medical expert. None of that. So if what he was doing was correct, great. But that like on the camera, I'm like, should you be doing that?
It doesn't look like a medical
Stop.
It looks like you're just wiggling his knee around.
He was. It was just some dude in a shirt.
Josh, so I fucked up both my knees, and he did it a little more aggressively than
That's what I mean. Like, I've seen
like,
them like start to move it, but he was just like, huh. Like it was a fucking pinball flipper.
He was wiggling around pretty hard.
Like it was.
Then you see Mauricio go, like what the fuck? At one point, and the commentary has to like kind of talk that down. And he's like, it looks like it hurt him a little bit. You see Mauricio
I understand
just go,
that, by the way, that Flo is not going to send an English team down to Brazil, but they got to do something because it is just like. It's kind of bland.
They need to pump audio. I liked William Tackett on commentary. Like he actually
I didn't mind.
One thing. Oh, sorry. Let's finish this and let's talk about the commentary situation because again, we're doing a late show. We're gonna get off topic.
We're gonna tangent. Damn it.
So Mica Galvao moves on. I do want to see this rematch in the gi because it is cool to see guys give Galvao trouble. Had him on his back. We had him playing like into deeper guards. And at this point, Mauricio was like nonplussed by dealing with the prodigy here. So it was cool. I thought that Galvao was going to kind of take the momentum back, but in the matches we have seen him lose, we've seen guys like kind of keep him in that defensive position and not let him open up, and that's how you beat him. And it was, again, neat to see Oliveira kind of exploiting that and kind of going back to like what had worked in the past. On to the finals. Mica Galvao defeating Lucas Hulk Barbosa via a bow and arrow choke.
After the most boring goddamn match.
It was pretty boring.
of the night.
It was pretty boring. And now we had the panel match as well.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, true. But this was...
You already wiped it. You're like, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I've already forgotten it. Here's the thing. So here they were like, BJJ Stars is announcing there's a stalling rule for 50-50 and lapel guards.
Oh, yeah, there were new rules coming to this event for stalling for
and
the lapel
nobody
game.
was doing that. But guess what? They let them stall their asses off on the feet.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I'd literally rather watch a tortoise walk across my lawn than what happened in a majority of that match.
It was a little slow. But when it
That's an understatement. It was literally like the last 40 seconds was the exciting part.
So I actually liked that we saw Hulk looking for like a variation. It wasn't a drop sayo. I'm going to mess up the judo terminology for the throw. It's something you see Hulk throw a lot. It's like basically a variation of it's not a drop sayo nagi. It's a same side collar, same side sleeve grip throw. And then the way Hulk throws it, typically in judo, you throw this, you turn completely 180 degrees and you throw them over your back. But because in judo, like the back take isn't a thing as much, Hulk throws it to the side.
Does he kick the leg in between?
No, he doesn't.
Well, then it's just like a Murata Seyanagi.
That's what it is. Yeah, Moto Seyanagi.
The
It's not
same
the
thing that,
one arm, it's the two arm Seyanagi. Yeah.
It's the same thing that
But he throws it
Adolfo does.
Yes. But he throws it from like a 90-degree angle, and he'll drop you into the mat, and he'll turn you through. And we saw him hit it earlier in the night, and it's something that when you've seen him in the past, like a lot of the Atos guys are picking up a lot of judo. Like Dominic Bell recently got his black belt in judo. Keenan was training in getting belted in judo. Like a lot of those Atos guys still training judo too. But it was neat to see. And then you saw Galvao come in and go, oh, we're doing judo. Awesome. I'm going to do judo too. And they kind of planted each other heads into the mat for a good majority of it. But at least they were working something, and we'd seen them both do it early in the match. When this match gets spicy...
is once Hulk's like, I'm going to do a takedown.
He does the same thing, and Galvao times it. He goes, oh, cool.
Went and he jumped around the side of it and then did the same thing but on the feet where he chased the hips and felt the flow of it, went around, and immediately attacked, which is also another thing that
there was
I
like
love
only
about
like 30 seconds left to go, though, so he knew he had to do something.
But the kid will always try to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And he got there and locked it in. And, like, he's starting to pull, and then you just see this big smile, and he's, like,
and he starts yelling while he's still choking.
Choking him, and Hulk's like, I don't want to tap to that. This is nonsense. And then he's like, yeah, I have to. But you could tell he was, like, in his head, begrudgingly. He was like, I don't want to tap.
This sucks.
But
I want to see...
It didn't make up for, like, the snoozer of a match.
I actually enjoyed watching kind of the judo run play. I wish that there had been had happened in like I wish there had been like the match had been much shorter and those sequences had happened earlier.
Yeah.
But it was neat to see like the one thing that was happening Galvao ended up playing off of to get the back and finish. I want to see a mat side photo of Galvao as he's finishing, as he's yelling, because that's a badass photo. 19 years old, 18 years old, choking Lucas for $21,000 in a finals match. It was a pretty neat moment. I thought it was cool. I really enjoyed the moment at the end. I wish, again, the match had been a little quicker paced for most of it, but overall, I'm really happy with BJJ Stars. The English commentary, like the flow, the event video is like got problems, and I don't want to go into all the problems. There are huge chunks of time.
If you wouldn't have brought this up, I wouldn't have said anything. Yeah. I would have forgotten about it at this point, but good Lord, the in-betweens.
There's like 10 plus minutes in sometimes where it's like, I'm just like tap, like trying to like find the next match.
I know it's not their problem that it's the event that's running, but...
No, it's not. It's because they're not cutting to... flow for, I don't know how it worked, but regardless, the English broadcast that I watch.
The Portuguese, it's a lot of talking.
Yes.
So what happens is...
So fill that with English commentary. So you feel, so your broadcast...
You can talk about like the match that just happened and lead into the match that's
give me
about to
something.
happen.
But give me something.
But don't make me watch like
The
this
commercial
event
break.
is in a commercial break, and it's like
give me some
and you hear
B-roll.
that
Give me something. Give me
something.
Give me the Portuguese commentary with an overlay that says English commentary will return when matches start. Give me something to watch.
Here you go. Here's one. They're pushing it really hard.
Little Caesars.
Shut the fuck up. God, that happened a lot too.
I know that pisses me
blocked it
off.
out as well, but they're pushing the who's next thing. Show the extended trailer.
Bro, give me something between.
Just give me something to do.
Give me
if this happens all the time,
in
I'm gonna walk away and then just be like, oh, was I watching something? Or if I come back 10 minutes later and that screen is still up, ugh.
But it's like it's 6 to 10 minutes in not like 4 or 5
times.
Multiple times through
In
the
between
event.
each match.
And it's like I need something
Little Caesars.
as a viewer between there. Like I get, again, you don't want to have your English commentary try to play off nothing, but
you can give me a little bit of fill. You can give me 5 minutes of talking.
Bro,
you can make 10 minutes of talking go by.
Bro,
really
give
easy.
Give me ADCC rules. They have so much B-roll. Just start running commercials for stuff that's on Flow.
About the upcoming
all the
match.
documentaries or Road to Worlds, or give me something on a broadcast.
If you give me the
your
backstory
broadcast.
of these guys leading up into the match,
I
you
would
don't
love
have
that.
to give that to me while the match is happening. You can just tell me about the match. I don't need to. I already know what's going on now.
Yeah.
Thank you for filling me in, Chase.
Hey, we got 10 minutes.
Thank
cool.
you for
Let's
filling
run
me in,
through
William.
let's run through the rankings. Let's run through the last
Something.
5 matches this guy's had. Something on a broadcast, because that dead air kills me for these
Little
events.
Caesars.
Little Caesars, Josh. Okay.
Little Caesars, if you
Moving
want to
on.
sponsor us. I'm down.
Again, I love BJJ Stars. It's awesome to see you guys getting paid. We had some fun matches. We had some matches that had a couple pacing issues, but overall, I love to see more showcase Brazilian events, showcasing Brazilian talent, because a lot of what we cover nowadays is just U.S. events, and so I like more world events. I want to see more events in Japan. I want to see more events in Australia. I want to see us covering more events in Brazil. So that does it for BJJ Stars 8. Let's move on to the main event of Fight to Win. Barrett Yoshida finishing fucking Darce after
chasing it.
4 minutes versus Jeff Hung?
I don't even know how long it was, but he chased the shit out of it. He was like, I'm locking this in, and he just followed him the entire time. He did not want to give it up.
At one point, Jeff stands back up.
Yeah.
And Barrett Yoshida just goes,
And that's credit to Jeff, too.
I'm actually going to keep this Darce in. And just locks. And Jeff fights the hands, Jeff comes down. And Barrett just is tenacious, just continue. I really wanted to see Barrett Yoshida set up the crucifix, because that's why I watch Barrett Yoshida. And he has a great, again, ever since his last Fight to Win match where he hit the assassin choke, that has been the only thing on his Instagram. And I love it when I open that app for 10 to 15 minutes a day. And I see Barry Yoshida just murking the blue and purple belts at his gym with that. It's just a video of him just baby arming the guy, or whoever is big heavyweight, middle-sized blue belt, just everyone in his gym, you can tell, is just they're not even upset about it. They're you happen to see one round of this is happening, and you're oh, this has been every round for 6 months, every time you roll with him. So you're this is just another day of Barrett Yoshida crucifixing me from the back and throwing his lapel over and choking me with it. So that's what I was hoping for this match. But again, it is nice to see a Darce finish in the gi. Not something we see hugely frequently in the gi. Definitely
frequently. Nope.
Definitely more of a no-gi thing that we see. But Barrett Yoshida, goddamn. I also love the Fight to Win goes back to Hawaii every 100 events.
Hey guys, we're just coming over here. Fight to Win.
Well, look,
300.
Now I know. Now I know, Josh. I'm going to Fight to Win 300 in 2 years. I'm going.
Seth, just keep your ears open.
Hey, Seth.
Maine's coming. He's not asking for a ticket.
Nope.
He's not asking for any of that.
Nope.
He might even do commentary.
I would love to do commentary.
He might even do commentary.
I'd love commentary.
You don't have to even pay him.
Probably not.
Just buy him some food.
Buy
him some food. Make fun of that he broke his spine.
That happens sometimes.
He's a weak little tiny
also
boy.
on this card.
Oh, yeah. Seth also had a match on this card, filled in late replacement, and Kimura'd his opponent, and apparently injured him.
It looked like he broke his arm. Looked like he broke his arm in the Kimura. And again,
I don't know. They again moved his arm.
Dude, I watched the video twice.
Is it dislocated? Is it broken? I don't know. I hope he's okay.
The arm looked janky after, and it looked like a break. And based on the speed in which it let go, and then Seth let go, and then Seth looks and goes, oh, and starts immediately apologizing.
Seth is a peach. As much as, like,
oh my God,
he tells people to eat dicks or whatever, like, that dude is sweet.
That dude is such a sweet competitor.
Grabbed his arm. You know, he was fighting for it. He was doing jiu-jitsu.
Seth was doing the game that Seth does. If you ever see it, there's a video on BJJ Fanatics called Seth Knows 4 Moves.
There's one of them.
Watch that video. Every time Seth Daniels competes on Fight to Win, that is what he is doing. And so he's in the top side. He locked half guard.
It down and it just was like coming over. What I thought was really cool and I liked, and he probably showed this before though, was when he came over to finish the Kimura, he brought the leg up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and he kept that grip. And then once he was like, oh, this leg's going to go. And once that was gone, he locked up the Kimura and pulled it up real tight and was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Got it. But then he heard something and he let go. Most guys will not let go and do it until the guy screams or the ref's like, hey, let go. That thing's messed up. He let go. You could tell. Did not feel great about doing that.
He made a pose that was like,
He's like, I'm sorry. You have a great professor. I hope he is okay afterwards and he can get back on the mats. It's like, as much as people can hate him or whatever, he's a pretty sweet guy.
That dude's good. So again,
it's good.
Seth get another win. Cool to see him back out there on the Fight to Win stage. We don't get a chance to cover. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, Seth Daniels is the tournament promoter for Fight to Win. We haven't talked about that in a couple of years, probably. And
also one of the guys behind ADCC.
ADCC 2019, ADCC 22, many grappling events that you have done.
Watched.
Seth has, and even behind the scenes, a lot of times, like Seth talks to a lot of the other promoters and like huge help to a lot of guys in the community over the years. So that was Fight to Win 200. Again, we have covered like 148 Fight to Wins, Josh.
Since 38.
No, that was the first one you were on.
That was the first episode.
First episode was 52. That was the first Baltimore card.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's burned into my brain, Josh. Do not listen to episode 1 because it's us recapping every single match in a row. And we don't know how to do the show yet.
Yeah, we're so confused.
And we have no idea what's going on. Josh is like educating me on like what we're doing and how
it was a lot of listening that you don't have to do.
The first 4 months were an interesting show.
It was
If
rough.
you're ever going to start watching shows, start around
right
like
before
34,
I leave.
Right around 34. Nah, you had a bunch of good shows. Yeah, then Josh goes on hiatus for a while, and then eventually comes back, and it's like, hey, Josh is back. Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
So that was Fight to Win 200. Let's talk about also some other great match on the card. There's a whole host of other stuff that was a lot of fun to watch. Some highlights are coming out. Go back and watch the matches with the highlights because they were exciting. I'm looking for my results here. Toro Cup 20 took place as well. We've covered Toro Cup. I think the first Toro Cup we covered was Toro Cup 6, I think.
One of them. I've got a Toro Cup 12 shirt on right now.
Yeah. You did Toro Cup, right?
That's the one
That's
where
the one
I
you did.
it. Yeah.
Did you go to North Carolina for that?
I did.
Really?
And I stayed in an Airbnb that was no joke 2 minutes away from the gym.
That's convenient.
I didn't even plan it out like that.
Just got lucky.
I was like, okay, here. And then I looked and I was like, wait. And I looked at the directions. I was like, oh, it's right around the corner. And then when we were going to the place, I was like, that's where it is. Cool.
That's convenient.
Bagels and everybody at...
Yeah, they had Kendall as one of the commentators.
She's done it a couple times now.
Yeah, but I always forget that she is one of the commentators. She doesn't do every single one, I don't think.
Correct.
So it was always nice to hear Kendall on the mic and like giving her insight. I think she's a really, really great commentator, and it's cool to get her, again, a chance to showcase some of that because she's a super high-level competitor. It's awesome to see people that are able to do both. Raised $3,100 for the Autism Society of North Carolina.
They always raise money for...
Toro's a charity event.
Yeah.
By the way, and there are some paid brackets here, but the point really is to raise money for a charity, for usually a local charity or a Jiu-Jitsu based charity or a North Carolina based charity, and so it's really cool. They also run
just a crap load of matches.
The matches are out of order. Not out of order, sorry. The main event, what you would kind of consider the main events for Toro Cup, typically occur like in the middle of the cards. Like we had Wilson Hayes defeating Cody Matias via Bravo choke in this one for the Masters lightweight champion, and we also had DeAndre Corbre. DeAndre Corber's on this match too, defeating Evan Oredo via heel hook at like just the end of regulation at 9:27.
But then we also had Gavin Corbre,
his brother,
defeating, and I believe, that's further down. Holy
yeah,
Lord.
yeah, it was a close
Gavin
to the end.
Corbre defeating Esteban Martinez 2-0. That match was amazing.
Close,
but it was amazing. Like those guys were just booking it.
Yeah, they were just absolutely trucking through the match. There's interesting things that like Esteban in this match will not give up, but he
falls
will
into like positions.
He will let dudes not let is the right word. Like Gavin in this match was able to get positions on him, and then Esteban just kind of decides like, oh, that's really kind of close and tight, and you're starting to get close to my back or trying to get your hooks in, like,
and shifts.
I'm just gonna go. That's not gonna happen. Just decides to not let you start to submit him and set up a position.
Who's caught him before?
I think Mikey didn't catch him. I think Wagner caught him. Like Wagner, but I'm saying like at rooster weight or at light featherweight.
Anybody close to his weight class?
Like caught. I know he has been caught.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to think of guys at his weight class that have caught him. Like offhand, I can't think of one. Again, he's a guy that we've been watching for. You and I have been watching for
a while,
years and years and years. But he's recently come up on like finally getting the showcase on the show. So I usually will watch guys' matches and like watch them for interest, and so I don't take mental notes because weekly I have a bunch of matches for the show that we have to cover.
Now he's gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to look it up now. I'm trying to move all of the. I can never spell his name right either, which is always great. We did an interview with him.
There you go.
A couple weeks ago. That's out on the Grappling Ground YouTube page. If you want to hear kind of some of his competition prep for ADCC and for PANS and for the other tournaments he does, and kind of how he talks about dealing with bigger opponents or smaller opponents or people that are more of his size. He doesn't have many sub losses. Let me go change the year here. Most recent submission loss is going to be Wagner. Yeah, not the same size.
Points.
More points.
Armbar.
That's a win. That's a win.
No, go up.
Yago Souza in
Also
absolute.
Damn it.
Yago's a big dude. EBI overtime
Doesn't count.
Points. Absolute. At the World Championships, Taliesin Suarez hit him with an arm and Ezekiel.
Wow.
That was last year. And we had to go through like what?
A lot of matches.
50 matches in the last year and a half.
A ton.
To find one where a dude his size,
like he's
close
lost,
to his size.
Sure, but
they're always like an absolute and shit. Like then or points. Like
that
points
or by
victories and
points.
Stuff. Yeah. So, dude's amazingly hard to catch. And we saw Gavin Corbre a couple times, like get to the legs, start to get the back, start to like get positions going on him. And Esteban just decides like, nah. It is also really interesting because the leg length of Martinez, guys have a really hard time setting up leg locks on him because he can clear the knee line like
super
so
quick.
Easily and so quickly because he just sort of like will step his leg down low, and people are not used to needing to pull like and extend so far with their arms to recapture his knee line. It's something I've noticed probably the past like 2 months we've been covering him, is that he just will like step his leg back out of any leg lock, and guys kind of go, okay, cool. The entire knee line is cleared now. And then Martinez will turn in and immediately start passing off of that in a way, because guys a lot of times aren't used to the speed that he's going to clear and then still be standing there because he can clear his knee line. Again, I love watching guys use attributes that they have, like physical attributes, in a way to trip people up. And it's been super neat. Gavin hits a sweep here, which is the only 2 points of the match. Correct?
It was like, technically, I believe it was a takedown.
Okay.
I think so.
Been a big week of matches, Josh. Everything gets fuzzy in my brain.
Charles McGuire, not Charles. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Calf
Sorry.
slicer.
I was
in the absolute. Like, if you ever know, if I ever leave a page up, Josh will just start reading.
Yeah, you're talking, so I'm like, let me feed this.
But overall, it's really cool to see Gavin. What are you pointing at, Josh?
That match right there.
Alex Wind beats just. Ooh, I missed that this weekend. I have to go back and watch that. That's unfortunate. Alex Wind defeated Jessica Crane via rear naked choke to retain the Nogi lightweight. To win the lightweight Nogi championship for Toro. I'm really upset we missed that, Josh. So I'll go back and watch that. You should go back and watch that. Both two super, like, is that lightweight?
Yeah.
I thought they were strawweights.
Maybe they're a little loose with lightweight.
Hey, jiu-jitsu weight classes. Overall, really cool to see Gavin. Gavin's the guy Josh and I, have you done commentary with me for him? We've covered him a couple times on Copa Virginia.
Wait, hold on a second. Did he go twice?
Who?
DeAndre Corbury.
His brother and Gavin Corbury. They both were on the card.
Didn't we say he won?
Who did? DeAndre?
DeAndre? Did we look at somebody else's name? I'm obviously forgetting things. DeAndre's right there, and he lost to Gabriel Souza.
Is this the wrong? That's yeah.
You went down further.
I scrolled down.
Like,
okay,
what?
yeah. Sorry. That other
bad.
match didn't happen. That was on the previous Toro Cup 19 that Miranda and I covered a couple of weeks ago.
I was like, wait, what?
Again, full apologies. It's
late.
It's midnight now. It's 11:55, and we're still doing the show. Toro Cup was great. Watch this match. Gavin Corbury is a guy that Josh and I were talking on the pre-show, like him and his brother. And for some reason, I think they train at different places. When I spoke to Gavin last after his pro card match on Copa Virginia a couple of months ago, he talked about, like, not the last one, the previous time. He's won both of them recently. The previous time we interviewed him, he talked about not training with his brother. We saw him and his brother at ADCC trials actually on mats next to each other at the same time competing. And he is a guy, and Gavin talked about a while ago, he's like, my brother beats me up, and like, but he's a guy that's recently, like, come into his own training-wise and competitively.
Do you know they came to our gym for a little bit, right? Both
Did
of
they
them?
really?
Not to, like, as training hubs, but they would, like, came up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What year?
This is a while ago.
It's crazy.
Gavin beat my ass.
Yeah.
I tried to keep up with him, and I was like, I'm too fat for this bullshit.
Yeah.
And he beat me up.
Yeah, very. I might have actually been at the gym when that happened. I might have been super fucked up, though.
Possibility. I can't remember.
Last 5 years. So, regardless, great matches. I'm very, very curious to see kind of how Esteban continues to develop and how Gavin continues to develop, because ADCC, he looked great. And he's obviously, and he's talked to me about, like, getting on those matches and getting those events, and obviously, has continued to show up. And so it's been super exciting.
I'm also just still laughing about how we looked at a completely different card, and we were like,
we scrolled down too far, Josh. It happens sometimes.
And
so
I started reading.
So on Fight to Win 201 coming up next week. I don't think we have any matchups announced for this right now.
I'll check as well. The old Instagram.
Yeah, another recap. So on Copa Elite, I got a chance to actually commentate Felipe Costa's matches. He is the brown belt that was in the World Finals last year versus Mason Fowler. That had a really, really great, really, really close match with Mason Fowler. And I just got to watch him look amazing at Copa Elite this weekend and commentate all his matches. Did a really quick interview with him, talked to him a little bit. He's looking at doing Worlds coming up. He was like, when he got the call for the Copa Elite card, he was like, I'm not doing no-gi right now. I'm just doing gi. And the guy was like, nah, come up. So he flew. He's a Victor Hugo and Sanji guy. Flew up from Austin, Texas to come and compete at this event. Looked great. Subbed a bunch of guys. Took a real close decision win at the end there. But looked great. He's a guy to definitely watch out for. When that video comes out from Copa Elite, watch it. Super impressive guy again to go that close with Mason Fowler. He's still a brown belt. I'm guessing this will be the last year he is at brown belt, considering how he did him against Fowler last year. And then we'll see him probably in the black belt ranks very, very quickly. But it was cool to commentate his matches. Josh, do we have anything for Fight to Win?
I couldn't find anything.
Okay. So that is Fight to Win this next weekend. It'll be fun. We'll cover it on the show. Also, we have the ADCC European, African, Middle Eastern trials happening. Big Dan. What's the guy's actual name?
Dan something?
The big European guy that's at New Wave now. He's the guy that Is he Australian?
I thought he was Australian. I haven't listened to him talk. I've watched him roll.
I've watched him roll too. And Luke Griffin, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy that I'm picking for plus 99. Like,
it's a different dude.
Yeah, I know. I realize that now. Big Dan's the wrong guy. He's the guy that beat Der Kaisheng a couple of weeks ago. He was number 1.
Oh, yeah.
That was Luke Griffin. It was the first time we'd ever covered him on the show, and I was like, oh, this dude's a monster. So, again, there's always some really big European talent that comes out, and I'm always very, very surprised about the heavier weight classes for the European trials for ADCC.
It's more stuff to watch, which is always good for people that like watching grappling.
I am kind of curious to see, because we've just had the South American trials and North American trials and the European trials kind of like back to back. I am curious to see, I think I'll have a good feel for like the meta of like what is hot in the different regions and like what do we see more of, because I think we're starting to see more and more regional differences. Like South American trials, like we didn't see a ton of like wrestling. You know,
not a ton
of wrestling. It was also a really like 100-degree venue, so like guys are super sweaty. It's going to be hard to wrestle in that. West Coast trials, we saw a huge diversity of like wrestling, back game, and like that was just a wild event. European trials, it's been 6 months since, you know, we've seen the last European trials. I'm curious to see kind of how the dynamics have shifted from the first one to the second one. Also, this is the women's qualifier. I love that, you know, we're going to get women competing and actually get a chance to, you know, win a qualifying spot for ADCC World Championships. I think Mo recently talked about looking to either expand the divisions or add another one. That is still on the docket. I do not think it will happen for 2022, but I think for the following years that will be the change that does occur. Again, I would love to see more women and female involvement in the sport. Really, I want to see the expansion of divisions, but this is a qualifier for them.
How bummed are you going to be when it goes international again?
Oh no, I have to travel to a cool place and go watch grappling. I'm going to be kind of bummed because it's going to make it really expensive to go do.
That's what I mean. I knew you. It wasn't like, is Maine going to go?
Oh yeah.
It's
till
just,
I die,
is
Josh.
Maine going to begrudgingly go because it costs a lot of money to go to whatever country?
I looked at flights to Poland to go to trials for European trials. $568, by the way.
Round trip?
Mm-hmm.
You should have went.
Yeah, it's also a 25-hour flight.
You should have went.
Yeah, but I thought
you have the time.
I thought about it,
went.
but I went like, I just spent a bunch of money West Coast. Vegas is expensive.
Oh, you don't say.
And that all that came back on my like my monthly reporting for my my finances, and I went, oh, okay, that's a bit more expensive than I had anticipated. When all the bills kind of finally settled, I went, okay, I'm gonna pull back for a couple minutes here.
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely, it's the thing Rachel and I do now. It's the thing we're gonna do. We're just gonna go wherever it is. I'm gonna go. So, look, I hope it's in Vegas.
Maine Miller coming to a city near you.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, that's what we do. Again, now that I'm like healed up and like I'm not
now I can
as
walk
broken.
and sit.
Now I can walk and sit, Josh.
I can sit.
I'm
for
competing next
periods of
Saturday.
time. Say what?
Yeah,
next Saturday or this Saturday?
May 7th.
That would be this coming Saturday.
This coming Saturday, Josh.
I'll be there.
There's no one in my brackets. I'm gonna move it up to absolute.
There's
first time ever.
There was not anybody in my bracket, and I was like, I'm not signing up for this.
Yeah,
but I'll be there coaching.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there coaching. I'm gonna be there mostly coaching as well, and then I might hopefully we'll have 2 matches. But one of them is gonna be an absolute match, and I'm gonna be like, we'll see how it goes. There's a black belt there that I wanna see, so it will be fun. Other than that, Josh, I got nothing else going on. You got anything else going on?
Training for a match in June.
Oh yeah, you did get announced.
Yeah,
for a match, and a couple other folks in our gym are on that card as well.
3 other guys, yeah.
Fun.
Scott and Chris. And Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
So
that should be a lot of fun. So we'll talk about that probably as we get closer to the event.
Yep.
Your schedule's changed up. Maybe able to be on the show more, and I'm excited for that, Josh.
Dude, I might be like mornings.
Ooh.
Wife was like, what happens if you have to get up at 6 or get up at 5 to go to work at 6? I was like, okay. And that just means I come home earlier.
Sweet.
So,
all right. Well, as always in the show, I'm your host, Maine. It's our co-host,
Josh.
and we are the Grappling. We're on to see on the mat. Whatever it is, stay safe. If you like the show, please consider sharing it on Facebook with the folks at your gym. It's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. You can reach out to us on email.
We also have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Google+.
Until that shuts down.
We have a website.
If you have an event you would like to have us cover, please let us know. If you have a name, like most people do, and you'd like to have us stop butchering it,
Let us know.
reach out to us. The show is also available on YouTube, Spotify, in addition to iTunes and every other podcast service. We very much appreciate your time, and thank you.